Hi, everybody. It's Miss Angel Diaz here again to take a look at day 2 of Heart of Darkness. And we are going to be looking at tone and mood today. So Miss Sheep has attached a link here to tone and mood, a little review for us. And especially in the opening pages, but throughout Heart of Darkness, tone is going to be really important, right? And we're often looking at the different narrators. We've already said there's different points of view, right? So different narrators may have a different tone. And then also as you read as an audience to the text, you are going to be interpreting mood as well. So just a quick review, that tone is the writer's attitude toward the audience. And with this novel, if Conrad shares a similar viewpoint as Marlowe, right, then it would be Marlowe's attitude, and that would reflect in Conrad's attitude. But if they have differing attitudes, then it could be some of the other things that are listed there, sarcastic, right, tongue-in-cheek. If our narrator and our author have differing perspectives, it can be more satirical. So really interesting to look at tone. And then of course for mood is the feeling that we have as we read the piece of literature. So the mood can be morose, or the mood can be tranquil. So as you read, and maybe both at the same time, right? Sometimes it can be pretty complex, especially when you're looking at really difficult pieces of literature. So we also have included in the same link a bunch of different tone words to help you. So when you are thinking about writing with tone, right? We've talked about diction. If you're analyzing diction, then it should lead to a discussion on tone. It's better if you can choose 2 different tones, and if they are slightly different or even contradictory, your discussion can be pretty rich. So you could have a kind of lonely and belligerent tone, and now you have 2 separate things that you can talk about, right? Whereas if you had a lonely but bittersweet tone, then that's going to be a whole different kind of take, even though you still have lonely, it's the kind of lonely it is, maybe. So just be aware of that and know that we've got a lot of really great tone words, and the more you can narrow down, like a lot of times we hear, oh, it's a happy tone or it's a sad tone, but the more you can narrow down what kind of sad it is or what kind of happy it is, the richer your discussion can be. And obviously with A Heart of Darkness, since we're starting off with this, that's going to be central to understanding the text.
Nice. Okay, cool. So we go to presentation mode. So Heart of Darkness, day 2, again, review tone and mood if you need to before this activity. Let me move us here. So for this lecture, we're going through, we're going to be going through a couple paintings actually. So it's okay if you haven't read the book yet. This is all kind of introducing you to mood and tone. So as we go through, we're asking that you take notes on each slide, noting the mood of each painting and what you think is the artist's intent. And we want you to pay particular attention to the horizons, the sea, and the sky in these paintings. And then our next Zoom, which is going to be on Tuesday, tomorrow, we will discuss and compare your notes. So again, those lists we showed you, if you're stuck on the words to use to describe these paintings, go back to the list and it might inspire you. Okay. All right. Oh, whoops. All right. So check out the painting here, and go ahead and click pause on the video as you write down what you think the mood of this painting is. What are the words that you're going to use to describe, like the feeling or the vibe of it? Okay, so hopefully you pressed pause and you wrote down some descriptions and some mood words for this painting. After each painting we show you, we'll then show you the title. So the title of this painting is Moonlight, and it was painted in 1887 by Albert Pinkham Ryder. And maybe seeing that title causes you to add a little something to the notes you already took.
I want to just, before we move on, because we've asked you to pay attention to the sky and the horizon. I mean, that's been a central image for us when you think about their eyes were watching God, right? And the sea. It's so a lot of these things they have metaphorical meaning, they have archetypal meanings. So each artist's interpretation of that horizon or that sky is going to be slightly different. Remember all of your skills with light and dark imagery. Like, what do you see in the light areas, in the dark areas? Start off with comprehension of a painting. So think about, as you are taking your notes, what exactly do you see happening in the painting? This one, I think, of some of the others, as you'll see in just a minute, is a little bit easier. But if you didn't have that title up there, would you say this is the sun, or this is the moon, or what are the other things, images that you're seeing in here? The angles, soft curves versus sharp angles can be things that we can use to interpret as well. So make sure as you're doing it, even brush strokes, if you look at one area of the painting and you see brush strokes going in a certain direction and maybe they're lighter or they're darker, what can you pull from that for your interpretation? Try to be as thorough as you can, because when we come back and talk about them, we're going to want to know, like, what do you see in here, comprehension, and then what is your analysis, your interpretation of it. Approach it a little bit more like a piece of literature. So again, on this one, sorry, Ms. Sheaf, I forgot. On this one, look at the horizon, look at the differences. Where do you see lightness and darkness? Go for comprehension first. What do you think is happening in here? And then, we're gonna pause for just a second, few minutes, take down your notes, and then as soon as you come back, you'll be able to see the title of it, and then we'll move on. Okay, so hopefully you paused, and here you go. Here's your title. So this is Monk by the Sea. And if you wrote Vampire by the Sea, I'm gonna go with that one too. It was 1809-10 by Caspar David Friedrich. We'll move on to the next one.
All right. This one, hopefully in your notes, you've set up like the first one, the second one. This will be our third one. So same thing, look at the painting, what's going on, look at horizon versus like the sea, look at any of the smaller shadows and jot down words about what's happening and mood. And then go ahead and press pause right now. And then when you unpause, you'll get the title. All right, so hopefully you got a couple of things written down. The title of this one is Nocturne, Blue and Gold, Old Battersea Bridge by James McNeill Whistler, and this was 1872 to 75. So if you weren't sure what that structure was at first, it is Old Battersea Bridge. All right, and this will be our last painting.
Maybe the most difficult one for last, right? So again, see first if you can figure out like what's happening in here. Again, pay attention to the colors and the imagery that you see, and take just a couple of minutes. We're gonna pause here and jot down your notes, see what sense you can make out of it and what your interpretation is. All right, so hopefully you paused, and here's your title. So this is Snowstorm Steamboat Off the Harbor's Mouth by J.M.W. Turner, and this is from 1842.
All right, so these 4 paintings that you guys just looked at and then took notes on what's happening in them and the mood of each one, that is actually meant to get you started when you first begin Heart of Darkness. So we'll discuss the paintings, and then on your own, before we meet tomorrow, we're assigning you guys to read the first 7 pages of Heart of Darkness, but we are also linking some videos on how we want you to approach Heart of Darkness. If you guys remember, we did the talking to the text activity when we read Beloved, and we were annotating that first page. We're going to do something similar here. So we've uploaded videos. Miss Angel Diaz has a video of talking to the text with the first and second paragraph of Heart of Darkness. And then the next one is an annotation video talking to the text with the third and fourth. And we are looking for these 5 things very carefully. So 1, diction indicating tone and mood. 2, details and imagery and description of the characters. 3, any dialogue and action revealing characterization. 4, point of view, characterization of the narrator. And 5, details and imagery in the setting of the description.
Perfect. And we look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday and talk about all of this amazing works of art.
Yes. So go ahead, look at those beautiful notes you took, read the first 7 pages, watch our videos, and we will see you guys soon.
All right. Bye.